questioning the validity of the other vaccines there. For more on all this, let's bring in Dr. Peter Hotez, co-director of Texas Children's Hospital Center for Vaccine Development and Dean of Baylor's National School of Tropical Medicine. Dr. Hotez, great to have you with us.
Thank you for having me.
You have actually spoken to RFK Jr. yourself, correct, about vaccines and the potential link to autism, and you speak not only as a vaccine expert, but also as a father of a daughter who has autism. So I'm wondering, what was his reception when you told him that you didn't think that vaccines caused autism?
Yeah, and I'd even written a book with the straightforward title, Vaccines Did Not Cause Rachel's Autism, about my daughter. And it's based on a massive amount of scientific evidence. And let's go through it a little bit. I don't know how much time we have, but you know what RFK and other anti-vaccine activists do is they keep switching the goalposts on what their actual beef is about vaccines. So the original assertion was in 1998 with false claims that it was the measles, mumps, rubella vaccine, the MMR vaccine causing autism. That was debunked through extensive scientific studies. In fact, the paper was retracted, and they were expensive studies and long term studies that required hundreds and even thousands of children involved. And then RFK Jr. wrote a paper in Rolling Stone magazine and in Salon simultaneously said, okay, it's not the MMR vaccine, it's the thimerosal preservative that's in vaccine. Same thing again, that was debunked through large studies, even non-human primate studies. Then they switched it up again. I call it vaccine whack-a-mole or moving the goalposts. Then they said, okay, then it must be that we're giving too many vaccines at once. In other words, they weren't taking no for an answer. They were going to look till they found something. Then that was debunked. And then it was alum vaccines. Then they switched it up to the HPV vaccine for cervical cancer and other cancers. They said that must be doing something. They said it was causing infertility or autoimmunity. That was also debunked, and now they're moving towards something that's so vague that no one can quite understand what they're talking about, something called chronic illness. The point is, each time the scientific community responds, but there's another piece to this that's really important. It's not just the scientific evidence showing there's no link, there's no plausibility. It's because autism begins in early fetal development before the child is even born. We now have at least 100 autism genes, many of which are discovered at the Broad Institute at Harvard, MIT. We did whole exome genomic sequencing on Rachel and my wife Ann and I. We found Rachel's autism gene, which is similar, although somewhat different at the same time. And now at Stanford Medical School, at Sergio Pasca's lab, we even have studies with brain assembloids or organoids, mini brains in the test tube with neurons with autism genes showing a aberrant migratory pattern. So it's a complete story. There's no there.
Right. So obviously,